Meghan Markle will return to the UK for the first time in almost 4 years.
Tom Bower is once again making headlines after sharing what he believes is the real reason Meghan Markle now wants to return to the United Kingdom. This is especially surprising because Meghan had previously given every impression that she had no desire to go back to Britain after stepping away from royal life. That dramatic change has sparked fresh debate about what may have happened behind the scenes and why the situation appears so different today. Bower is a well-known royal biographer whose books have generated major attention for years. He has written extensively about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, often including claims and accounts that have fueled intense public discussion and reportedly left the couple unhappy with his portrayal of events. His work has built a reputation for challenging popular narratives and questioning decisions made by members of the royal family. But this time, Bower is not promoting another book or discussing old chapters from his previous work. Instead, he is offering what he believes is the deeper explanation behind Meghan's reported willingness to return to the United Kingdom, despite earlier comments that suggested she had closed that chapter of her life for good. In his view, the circumstances have changed enough to make a return seem much more likely than many people expected. So what exactly changed after all these years? Why would someone who appeared determined to stay away suddenly be connected to talk of returning? According to Bower, both Harry and Meghan became so focused on the dream of complete independence that they underestimated what life outside the monarchy would really look like. He believes they expected far greater freedom, unlimited possibilities, and the chance to build an even bigger global brand without the responsibilities and limitations that came with being working royals. At the beginning, that vision seemed realistic to many observers. They signed major commercial agreements with Netflix, Spotify, and several other high-profile companies.
Magazine report that Miss Markle will not return to Britain, and Britain sighs a massive sigh of relief. Yes, I know, how terrible, Rita. How will we ever sleep at night?
They have reached a sort of a headwind. They run out of ideas. They can't really more work for Netflix or Spotify or any of the main streamers. And their finances are basically in jeopardy over the long term.
They also kept their Duke and Duchess titles, believing those royal connections would continue creating opportunities around the world and strengthen their public image. For a while, it looked like everything was moving in the direction they had hoped. However, according to Bower's assessment, the story unfolded very differently. Several of the opportunities they expected to grow into long-term success either ended earlier than anticipated or failed to deliver the lasting impact they had envisioned. Their Spotify partnership came to an end. Questions continued to surround the future of their Netflix arrangement, and a number of business projects that were expected to establish them as influential independent figures reportedly struggled to meet those expectations. In Bower's opinion, those developments forced a serious reassessment of the path they had chosen. Bower also argues that another major factor cannot be ignored. In his view, maintaining their high-profile lifestyle in California comes with enormous financial demands. Running that kind of household, managing security, supporting staff, pursuing new media projects, and preserving a global public image all require substantial resources. According to his assessment, those financial realities may have become far more challenging than originally anticipated, adding another layer to the speculations surrounding Meghan's reported interest in returning to the United Kingdom. According to Tom Bower, one of the biggest pressures facing Harry and Meghan today is the enormous cost of maintaining the life they built in California. He argues that living in a luxurious mansion brings constant expenses.
Why do you think they want to come back to this awful, racist, snobbish, cruel society and institution?
Well, I think you can summarize it in 2 words: desperation and failure.
From property upkeep and security to staffing and the overall high cost of maintaining a celebrity lifestyle. In his view, those financial commitments are much greater than many people realize, especially when steady sources of income become less predictable over time. Bower believes that several of the financial opportunities the couple once expected to provide long-term stability have become far less reliable than originally hoped. From his perspective, deals that once looked like the beginning of a powerful new chapter have either ended, slowed down, or produced results that fell short of expectations. Because of that, he argues they may now be looking back toward Britain and the royal connection they once chose to leave behind, believing it could once again provide valuable opportunities. According to Bauer's assessment, another challenge is that they have reportedly struggled to find fresh ideas capable of generating the level of income and public excitement they expected after stepping away from royal duties. He suggests that launching successful ventures becomes much harder when every new project is measured against enormous public expectations. In his opinion, the pressure to constantly create major hits has only become more difficult as time has passed. Many of the projects announced after Megxit generated enormous publicity in the beginning, but Bauer believes that momentum gradually slowed. Some initiatives attracted attention at first before fading from public conversation, while others failed to build the long-term impact supporters had anticipated. Because of that, he argues that returning to the United Kingdom could provide an opportunity to reconnect with royal associations that still carry global recognition.
Prince Harry and Meghan have hit back at controversial biographer Tom Bauer over his new book, which says Prince Harry was brainwashed by his wife.
The Sussexes say it's conspiracy and melodrama,
and could potentially create new possibilities for future projects and partnerships. But Bauer did not stop with financial questions alone. He also offered a much broader criticism of what he sees as the couple's Hollywood ambitions. In his view, Harry and Meghan arrived in the entertainment world surrounded by extraordinary publicity, worldwide media coverage, and intense curiosity. Many people expected them to become one of America's most influential celebrity couples, capable of shaping conversations across entertainment, business, and media. For a period of time, they dominated headlines, secured major commercial agreements, and appeared to be building an impressive brand with international reach. According to Bauer, however, that early momentum slowly began to fade. He argues that several commercial partnerships eventually became linked to unmet expectations, mixed public reactions, and projects that struggled to remain relevant over the long term. Rather than establishing themselves as permanent Hollywood power players, Bauer believes their influence gradually weakened as public interest shifted and new competitors emerged. In his opinion, maintaining the same level of excitement proved much more difficult than creating it in the first place. From Bauer's perspective, the possibility of returning to Britain now carries a powerful sense of irony. He suggests it resembles an effort to reconnect with the very institution that Harry and Meghan publicly criticised after leaving royal life. After years spent pursuing complete independence and building a separate path, Bauer believes they may have come to recognise that their royal connection.
But I do think that when you're mocked so publicly as they've been, their value begins to nosedive pretty quickly. And I don't think they're finding any more sources of income. And with the stream of money they're spending on security, on mortgages, on just plain living, I think they can see the end of the road within 5 years at best. And they've got a real financial...
carried far greater influence, prestige, and long-term value than they originally expected. In his view, that realization could explain why Britain is once again becoming part of the conversation. Tom Bauer believes the clock may be ticking for Meghan Markle to regain the level of public influence she once enjoyed. In his view, there is growing urgency to recover some of that lost relevance before it fades even further. Rather than allowing public attention to continue drifting elsewhere, he argues that this could be an attempt to place herself back at the center of one of the world's most talked about stories while there is still an opportunity to reshape the narrative. According to Bauer, Meghan appears increasingly determined to reclaim the spotlight. He believes she is searching for new ways to rebuild public interest around her name because, in his assessment, the level of worldwide attention she once commanded is no longer what it was during the early years after stepping away from royal life. He argues that a return to the United Kingdom would immediately dominate international headlines, drawing enormous media interest and placing Meghan back at the center of royal discussions once again. In today's media landscape, stories involving the royal family still attract global audiences, making Britain a powerful stage for anyone connected to that ongoing narrative. Bauer also believes the timing is far from accidental. In his opinion, Returning to Britain now would reconnect Meghan with the royal story that first brought her worldwide recognition. He argues that such a move could generate weeks of media coverage across television, newspapers, online platforms, and social media. Whether the public reaction proved positive, negative, or mixed, Bauer believes the renewed visibility alone would place Meghan back into conversations taking place around the world. He suggests that remaining part of those conversations has become increasingly important after several years in which public attention has naturally shifted toward other stories and public figures. He further argues that public perception, especially in the United Kingdom, has evolved considerably over the years. According to Bauer, any appearance in Britain would immediately be viewed through the lens of everything that has happened since Harry and Meghan stepped down as working royals. Every public engagement, every photograph, and every interaction would likely receive intense scrutiny. In his opinion, that level of attention creates both opportunity and risk because every move would be carefully analysed by supporters, critics, and royal commentators alike. Bauer suggests Meghan is attempting to repair an image that, in his assessment, has experienced repeated setbacks over the past several years. However, he openly questions whether rebuilding that image is still realistically possible after everything that has unfolded. He believes that changing public opinion becomes increasingly difficult once people have already formed lasting impressions. In his view, attracting headlines is one challenge, but changing minds is a completely different one. That is why he argues any effort to rebuild public support would require far more than a single visit or a handful of carefully planned appearances. According to Bauer's perspective, one possible way to strengthen that public image would involve placing greater emphasis on family. He points to Archie and Lilibet, together with Prince Harry's ongoing commitment to the Invictus Games, as factors that could contribute to a warmer public narrative. Bauer believes that presenting themselves as a united family while highlighting Harry's charitable work could help encourage more positive conversations surrounding their return. He argues that charitable initiatives and family-focused appearances often resonate strongly with audiences because they highlight shared values rather than public disagreements. Even so, Bauer believes major obstacles remain firmly in place. He argues that relationships within the royal family continue to face significant challenges, particularly between Prince Harry and Prince William. Because those reported differences remain unresolved, Bauer believes the prospect of the Sussex children regularly spending time with their royal cousins appears highly uncertain. In his opinion, rebuilding personal relationships behind closed doors is likely to be far more difficult than creating positive public headlines. While King Charles is sometimes viewed by observers as being more open to reconciliation, Bauer believes the broader divisions within the family should not be underestimated. He argues that repairing years of strained relationships requires much more than symbolic visits or public appearances. Trust, once damaged, often takes considerable time to rebuild, and he believes those challenges continue to shape the family's current situation, and according to Bauer, none of this should automatically be interpreted as the beginning of a heartfelt family reunion. He believes the motivation is not primarily about healing old wounds or making peace after years of tension. Instead, in his assessment, the focus is on practical realities, such as financial considerations, long-term security arrangements, restoring public relevance, and rebuilding an image that he believes has faced significant challenges over the past several years. From Bauer's perspective, those issues remain at the center of everything now unfolding. According to Tom Bauer, the royal connection Harry and Meghan once decided to leave behind may now be the very connection they need the most. In his assessment, that relationship with the royal family still carries an extraordinary level of influence, recognition, and global interest that cannot easily be replaced. While Harry and Meghan have spent years building an independent public identity, Bauer argues that the Royal Association remains one of the strongest parts of their international profile. He believes that reality has become increasingly difficult to overlook as time has passed. Bauer suggests that if Meghan were to return to the United Kingdom, the impact would likely extend well beyond a single visit. In his opinion, such a move would instantly become a major international news story. Television networks, newspapers, websites, and social media platforms around the world would almost certainly cover every development, every appearance and every public reaction. He argues that this level of media attention is something few public figures can generate so quickly, and that alone makes Britain an important place in the broader royal story. From Bauer's perspective, the benefits of renewed attention could reach several different areas at once. He believes discussions surrounding security arrangements could once again become part of the public conversation. He also suggests that a return could potentially improve public visibility in Britain, while creating fresh opportunities for future business discussions. In his view, remaining relevant is one of the greatest challenges for any public figure, especially after the excitement surrounding major announcements begins to fade. He argues that reconnecting with the royal family story naturally places Harry and Meghan back into conversations that attract worldwide interest. According to Bauer, this is what he believes may be the strategy behind the reported return. He suggests that after years of pursuing complete independence, there may now be a recognition that the royal connection still holds considerable value. In his opinion, this is not necessarily about undoing the past, but rather about acknowledging where the greatest public interest continues to exist. Whether people agree with that conclusion or not, Bauer believes the monarchy remains closely linked to Harry and Meghan's public identity. Business is another factor that Bauer believes could play an important role. Over recent years, Meghan has introduced lifestyle products that include jams, fruit spreads, candles, and other home-inspired items. Like many consumer brands, these products depend heavily on public awareness and continued media attention. Bauer argues that visibility often plays a significant role in attracting customers, especially when a brand is connected to a well-known public figure. The more people see a product being discussed, the more likely they are to become curious about it. He also believes that a return to Britain would naturally generate renewed interest in Meghan's wider business activities. Increased media coverage could encourage more people to learn about her projects, while supporters might become more engaged, simply because her name is once again appearing regularly in headlines. In Bauer's view, publicity has always been one of the most valuable assets available to any public figure. Whether that attention comes through interviews, appearances, or major events, it helps keep a person's work visible to audiences around the world. According to Bauer, Meghan understands the importance of staying in the public eye. He argues that maintaining visibility is essential in industries like media, entertainment, and lifestyle branding. Public attention naturally rises and falls over time, and he believes successful public figures are constantly looking for ways to remain part of major conversations. In his assessment, reconnecting with Britain and the wider royal story would immediately place Meghan back into one of the most closely followed news topics anywhere in the world. Bauer further argues that the royal family continues to command extraordinary international interest. Millions of people across Europe, North America, Asia, Australia, and many other regions closely follow developments involving the monarchy. Because of that, he believes any connection to the royal narrative still carries enormous media value. In his opinion, that type of exposure is difficult for almost anyone to recreate through commercial ventures alone, regardless of how successful those ventures may become. At the same time, Bauer acknowledges that publicity alone is not enough to guarantee long-term success. He believes headlines can create opportunities, but lasting influence depends on consistent projects, positive public engagement, and the ability to maintain audience interest over an extended period. Initial excitement may attract attention, but sustaining that momentum is often much more challenging. In his view, rebuilding public influence requires patience, careful planning, and continued effort rather than a single high-profile moment. He also suggests that any return to Britain would almost certainly generate intense public discussion. Supporters and critics alike would closely examine every appearance, every statement, and every interaction. Royal commentators would offer different interpretations, while the media would continue debating what such a visit might mean for the future. Bauer believes this level of attention demonstrates just how influential the royal family remains on the global stage, even years after Harry and Meghan stepped away from official royal duties. Of course, Bauer's interpretation is only one perspective. Others may believe that any future visit to the United Kingdom could be motivated by family matters, charitable commitments, personal reasons, or circumstances that are not publicly known. As with many stories involving the royal family, different observers often reach different conclusions using the same information. That ongoing debate is one reason these stories continue attracting worldwide attention. Regardless of which interpretation ultimately proves most accurate, one thing remains clear: Harry and Meghan continue to generate enormous public interest wherever they go. Every new report, interview, or public appearance becomes part of a much larger conversation about the future of the couple, their relationship with the royal family, and the path they choose moving forward. That level of attention shows no sign of disappearing anytime soon. So those are the reasons Tom Bower believes Meghan Markle may be preparing to return to the United Kingdom. Whether you agree with his assessment or see the situation differently, the discussion is likely to continue as new developments emerge. As always, only time will reveal what actually happens next and whether Bower's predictions turn out to be accurate. Now, we'd like to hear from you. Do you agree with Tom Bower's assessment, or do you think there's another reason behind the reported return to Britain? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We always enjoy reading your opinions and seeing different perspectives from viewers around the world. If you enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up because it really helps support the channel. Don't forget to subscribe for more royal news, updates and discussions, and be sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a future upload. If you know someone who follows the royal family, share this video with them and invite them to join the conversation as well. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.